late for Avalis, but still second down here to try and make something happen here in
South,
this torrential downpour.
South having a nice season at Carolina, 5th in passing yards on the season. We'll try and get a couple more there, but again, out of bounds is his receiver. I believe that was Logan Jack on the far side of the field. And Aaron, we mentioned the yardage, 5th on the SFL leaderboard with 3,400 plus, 15th in touchdowns with 18, and 10th with 22. 22 interceptions on the year. Fairly good ball control in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to give some credit to Matt South with that last throw. Despite the pressure coming, he was able to throw that across the body to try to get into his hands of the receiver.
Trips again for South in the shotgun, and another interception. South putting it up for grabs, looking for Prasad. And I think that's going to be Evan Carroll, the 10th-year cornerback, playing one-on-one at Prasad.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, as far as the pass games go, we may see a lot more than just those 2 interceptions. I feel bad for Matt South throwing 2 early on, but that just shows these defenses kind of thriving in these conditions right now for both sides.
Absolutely. 2 interceptions in the first 3 minutes and 7 seconds. As Cochran completes one to Boletsky, making a nice spin move and getting outfield. That's going to be a nice gain to start the drive, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, just a nice possession type of pass there into the hands of the halfback, Charlie Boletsky. And Boletsky, of course, despite only being in his 2nd year, able to make miracles happen with his legs on the ground, as he proves there.
2 tight end look here for Florida. Cochran under center. Will throw it here. Looking on the out route, and that is caught. I believe that is Verdun Zarkov, number 81. Excuse me, that's EJ Midson, number 83. And it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Storm.
I blame the rain for that. But Minson, just a nice out route there. Cochran with, plenty of time in the pocket and the veteran patience in order to get that into the hands of Minson there.
9 catches for Minson last week, led all receivers. Had 145 yards and a score. Cochran over the middle this time, and that is complete. And that is Verdun Zarkov, the 3rd-year tight end. And that's another nice gain on first down, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, Ron Cochran starting to get a better handle on the situation. Of course, being they play it down in Florida now, kind of used to practicing in these wet weather conditions from time to time. And Cochran with the veteran IQ gets that in the hands of his tight end.
Zarkov and Pauly Truth, the rookie, both on the field. As Boletsky gets the call, he's going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And that is Chad Stinson, the outside linebacker, his 9th tackle for loss on the season.
Yeah, and a nice stop there indeed. Well needed for Carolina as they set up for another 3rd down.
3rd and 3. Cochran under center and the offset eye. Short drop over the middle again, and that is caught again. Zarkov, 2nd big catch on the drive, and Florida moves the chains.
Yeah, and I believe we saw this, I believe it was last week, if not the week before. Ron Cochran at times really favors throwing the ball to Verdun Zarkov, who's, despite being 3rd year, has proven a very, very capable receiving target for the Storm.
50 catches on the season for Zarkov. Cochran dealing again on first down. Boletsky, spin move, but still brought down after a gain of 5. Kane Vasquez on the tackle. Let's meet the rest of the Carolina Skyhawks defense. On the front line, Ryan Ray, Phil Hull, and John Nevels. The linebacking core, Trevon Prasad, Chad Stinson, and the rookie David Ware. And in the secondary, Davidson Joseph, Tristan Hatley, Kane Vasquez, Daniel Valentine, Monte Wyatt, and Mark Martin. And Cochran will hand off to Boletsky again on 2nd and 5. He has the first down inside the 10. And Boletsky gets Florida a 1st and goal.
Yeah, that's just a nice run, but the man they call the Bullet is offensive line, opening the barrel for Boletsky to just charge through, and Florida finds themselves just 18 feet away from the end zone.
Andrew Francis's interception went for naught. Florida went 3 and out. Evan Carroll's interception looking a lot more promising here. Florida On the front porch of Carolina. Cochran dealing to the right side. That is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Verdon Zarkov.
Yeah, that's just a great route by the tight end. Ron Cochran with all the time in the world to let that play develop. And Florida capitalizes on the second interception thrown by Matt South and takes the lead in this game finally after a rough start by both teams.
21st touchdown pass of the season for Ron Cochran. It's 6th touchdown reception of the season for Verdon Zarkov. And now it is Ethan Sneed, who was perfect from field goals last week, will add the extra point. Kick is up and good. And Florida, on their second drive of the game, now finally has a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, and a big shift in momentum toward the side of Florida, which is definitely something you don't want to see if you're a Skyhawks fan, as Ethan Sneed's going to look to kick this one deep to Harish Prasad.
Sneed has it on the tee and will let it rip. Kicking game does not seem to be affected by the rain. Down to the goal line, Prasad will get up to the 25. And Florida looking for their 9th playoff berth. They've actually secured it in their 10-year history. But today, if they win, Aaron, they would have back-to-back 10-win seasons and their 4th 10-win season in franchise history. So not exactly playing purely for fun and games, as Matt South gets under center. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Logan Jack will get the call. Jack is flattened by Stephen Black, the rookie linebacker, doing a little business in the A-gap, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and of course, mentioning Florida's record, they, of course, to date have the only perfect season in SFL history back in season 12 when they played in Alaska. They went 12-0 in the regular season and, of course, won the championship as well.
I would say moving from Alaska to Florida was a very smart move. Jack again on 2nd down. We'll get a couple more. Let's meet this Florida Storm defense on the front line. Deontay Stoneville, Alex Dominguez, and Alessandro Tamello. The linebacking core, Stephen Black, the rookie, and Eric Hammer, the 30-year outside linebacker. And in the secondary, Adam Jones, Ryan Davidson, Andrew Francis, Ryan Tobin, and Evan Carroll. And now 3rd and long, Matt South in the shotgun. 4-man rush for Florida. He's going to deal to the left side, and another interception. Number 3 for Matt South, and he is beside himself right now.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate. Matt South looking for Avalis this time on that throw, and Evan Carroll, yeah, just with a great read on the route there, and is able to jump it for his 2nd pick of the game.
3rd interception of the quarter. As Ron Cochran once again with tremendous field position, starting at his own 47-yard line, and Cochran will throw on 1st down, and that is caught. Valetsky fighting his way upfield is going to get 7 yards. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, Florida looking to capitalize on yet another turnover by Carolina here early in the 1st quarter, already in Carolina territory.
The rain refusing to let up here in downtown Raleigh. So glad to have you with us. Well, for the fans Twitch, Florida already has the 2 seed locked up. They are trying for back-to-back 10-win seasons. It's Charlie Boletsky off the left side. It's going to make this a 3rd and short. And it's the other Prasad brother, Shravan Prasad, on the tackle there.
Yeah, Carolina looking to make playoffs for the first time here since season 11, but of course they need to beat the Storm and need a lot of help from the other games coming up this week.
That they do. Cochran on 3rd and short is going to throw it, looking over the middle. That is caught. And that is Zarkov again, who's been a busy man already in this 1st quarter. And Aaron, the rain does not seem to be affecting Ron Cochran in the very least.
No, I think with the move to Florida back in season 14, Ron Cochran now has a lot of experience in the rain between practices and some games they've had down in Fort Lauderdale.
Cochran complete over the middle again. This time it's Stephen Bush. Bush slow to get up and then finally does rise to his feet. It's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Stephen Bush getting his first catch of the day. The last game he caught 7 for 104 behind the 9 by EJ Minson.
Had a touchdown in that game as well. Cochran again over the middle, and again, Veridin Zarkov, who is just loving the amount of volume he's getting, and he's also getting Florida a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Veridin Zarkov proving himself to be a very favored target of Ron Cochran here in the rain. The tight end showing some soft hands as well to keep these drives going for the Storm.
Another short drop for Cochran and another completion. EJ Minson over to the right side. Cochran 11 for 13 in this monsoon here in North Carolina. And Florida on the cusp of 1st and goal.
Yeah, Florida again for the second straight drive into Carolina's red zone. And the Skyfox defense needs to step up in a big way here before this game starts to get out of hand.
3 wideouts for Florida. Beletsky in the backfield by himself. We'll get the call here on 2nd and short. Has the first down to the 6-yard line, and it will be 1st and goal for Florida.
Yeah, Charlie Beletsky getting exactly what Florida needed. A fresh set of downs here to try and attack this goal, this end zone rather, of the Skyhawks yet again. And Ron Cochran and this Florida Storm team looking to pounce.
Touch number 9 for Beletsky. Down to the 2, to the 1. He's going to be stopped just short of the goal line by a pair of Carolina defenders. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Beletsky, of course, the standout rookie of season 16, has done just as well for himself here in his sophomore season. Absolutely. As Beletsky is looking to maybe add another touchdown to his already ridiculous total.
Cochran trips, and it finally is brought down. That is a bizarre play. We're just talking about how the rain did not affect him. What an auspicious end to the first quarter. Florida knocking on the door. Carolina trying to keep him out. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on For the Fans Twitch. Stay with us, please. Florida 9-2 on the season, looking to lock up back-to-back 10-win seasons. Their fate in the playoffs is already secured. They have the 2 seed. Ron Cochran looking to deal here. That is Beletsky at the line of scrimmage and brought down by Daniel Valentine, the free safety. And I think we're going to see Ethan Snead come out here for a field goal, Aaron.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you on that. Unfortunate that Ron Cochran fell to the might of the turf monster the play prior. And Florida, despite knocking on the door, Carolina able to bend just enough but not break this time. Going to force a field goal attempt out of Ethan Snead, who's perfect this season.
He was 2 for 2 last week, had a long of 37. And he is money from 23 here. And Florida is now enjoying a 10-0 lead. Are you a next-level SFL fan? Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for information on how to create a player to join our community. Check out League Leaders. We've got stats from all 17 seasons of SFL action, and you can track game, season, and career numbers for all the players over time who have gone from couch to field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. Prasad from his own goal line will get out to the 23-yard line. And Florida on the benefit of 3 interceptions from Matt South, 2 of those produced by Florida defensive back Evan Carroll. Now sitting on a 10-0 lead. Carolina fighting for their playoff lives. They are not officially eliminated yet. If they win, they would be 5-7, but they would need a lot of help to reach the postseason, namely in the teams in front of them falling away here in Week 12 the regular season finale. And now Matt South, 3 interceptions on the day, completes one to Logan Jack, who's able to turn upfield. A nice spin move and has a first down out to the 36-yard line. And Carolina showing signs of life at last on offense.
Yeah, Logan Jack with a nice spin move here in the downpour in order to try and extend this drive early in the second for Carolina, who's trying to get some confidence back into their star quarterback in Matt South.
South 4 of 9 on the afternoon. 3 interceptions. Just one fewer completion to the other team, rather, than to his own team. He's in the shotgun here. On 1st and 10. Florida running the twist, throwing to the right side. And again, that is met with Florida pause. It's Lurkin coming up with a deflection there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Lurkin with a nice lurk on the route there to swat that ball away, intended for Heath McDaniel Jr., I believe, on that pass. And Carolina with a rough start to this game here.
2nd and 10. They've not had great field position. All of their drives have started behind their own 30-yard line. Florida, conversely, has not started a drive any farther back than their own 39-yard line. South under center here for 2nd and 10. A deep drop, and he's going to unleash the dragon over the middle, and that is deflected again. Evan Carroll, once again, first on the scene, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, that one a dangerous ball from Matt South, who maybe a bit flustered there, trying to go for it all yet again. Unfortunately, this Florida secondary is not letting that happen, as has been made evident by the 3 interceptions so far.
Carroll, over 100 passes deflected in his 10-year career. That was number 104. Also added 2 interceptions to his total for 57 all-time. South again over the middle, and nowhere to go. Looking for Prasad again, but he was well covered that time on the left side of the field. And the Carolina punt team will come out once again.
Yeah, Florida's going to get decent field position out of this punt as well. And Carolina, for the first time this game, ends a drive in not an interception.
Mike Johnson, the punter. For Carolina on his own 20-yard line. No pressure from Florida. Punt is away. And that is Justice Blackwell, who will get sufficiently drilled at his own 34-yard line. 9:18 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, definitely all Florida's games so far, but still early in the second quarter, Carolina can potentially make something happen.
And now Ron Cochran once again found Veridin Zarkov in the red zone for a touchdown, our only touchdown of the afternoon so far, handing off to Voletsky on 1st and 10, and he has absolutely nowhere to go. Phil Hall, first man on the scene, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the defensive tackle, Phil Hall there, filling the gap that Boletsky was trying to go through, and stops him at the line of scrimmage.
Cochran under center. Only truth in the game is the second tight end. Boletsky hit it off, nowhere to go. A huge tackle for loss. And this Carolina defense doing all they can to keep their team in the game. David Ware, among a host of others on the stop, and it's 3rd and long for Florida.
Yeah, the 4th pick of this past draft, making the most of his advantage there, picks up a big TFL for the Skyhawks.
And now bunch formation for Florida to Cochran's right. Boletsky on his right hip. Cochran has time to throw. Finds a receiver crossing over the middle. He's going to be well short of the markers. That is Boletsky running a crossing route, it looked like, on the first level. And now Marcus Agrippa. Gesundheit, the big money punter for Florida, is going to come out and try and boot this thing away in the rain.
Yeah, that's an absolutely huge stop for the Skyhawks, something they desperately needed here to try and swing momentum back their way.
Prasad will get out to the 28. And that is almost Carolina's best starting field position of the afternoon. And Aaron, as we were talking about Ron Cochran and the Florida offense not being affected by this rain, that is their second straight punt and actually our third consecutive punt of this contest. As Matt South, in his first year in Carolina, will start back under center in the offset eye here, 1st and 10. Logan Jack up the middle, spin move, nice gain right out of the gate. Andrew Francis for Florida making the tackle. It's going to be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, this is honestly what Carolina needed between the defensive stop and getting their offense to start running. And I think running it through Logan Jack is the proper MO for the Skyhawks here.
I would concur, given the situation and the conditions. South in the shotgun on 2nd and 4, dealing to his left, and there's a completion. First completion for South in some time, who is now 5 of 13 on the afternoon. That's Vince DeSantis, bringing a fresh set of downs for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, the tight end 2 here for Carolina comes up in a big way on his first grab on the game. Gives the Skyhawks a much-needed first down here as they approach midfield.
DeSantis only 3 catches last week, one behind the other tight end, Tony Roma, who makes the catch there and gets out of bounds. The gain of 4 for number 44. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and honestly, these short passes to the tight end, these hands-off to Logan Jack, these wheel routes to Logan Jack out of the backfield, I think are going to be the key to Carolina at least having some life in this game.
The longest pass play of the game for Carolina was 20 yards from Harish Prasad. And now Logan Jack trying to get it done on the ground here and does get past the marker and also past the midfield stripe. Carolina in plus territory.
Yeah, Carolina and Logan Jack making some men miss. An opportunity there to try and stop in the background, but a nice stutter step there to pick up some additional yardage and make a man miss.
Carolina only trailing by 2 scores here. Pull within 3 with a touchdown on this drive. Matt South under center. Freddie Greer checks back in at fullback. And it's Jack getting the call, and he barely gets past the line of scrimmage. They're going to call it no gain officially. And that is Deontay Stoneville, the 3rd-year defensive end, making the tackle. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, big stop by Stoneville there, trying to prevent Logan Jack from getting any more yardage on the ground here. But Carolina, I think, is still going to look to Logan Jack as the core of their offense.
As we reach the halfway point of the 2nd quarter, South hit as he's thrown, and that is complete. A tremendous catch under pressure to find Harish Prasad. His 2nd big catch of the game, and another first down for Carolina.
Yeah, and honestly, that's just a great throw by Logan Jack as well. As you said, hit just after he threw that ball, and Harish Prasad just able to keep his eyes on it and catch it before it hits the ground. So a great presence of mind by both quarterback and receiver on that play.
Carolina kicker Whistle Jones hit a field goal from 44 yards last week. They're going to have to do at least that well in terms of field position. To say nothing of the weather here, Logan Jack around the left side and then finally back up the middle. Going to get a gain of 4. And now 2nd and 6 as Carolina inches closer to the goal line.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the kind of drive that Carolina needed to, again, try to swing momentum their way here.
Spread formation, South dealing to the left this time. And the crowd is telling me that is complete. But that's going to be short of the marker. And that was Vince DeSantis once again. Tight end 2 with catch number 2. And it'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, a convertible 3rd down here for Carolina. But, of course, this Florida defense, a very, very strong contender here for one of the best in the league. Definitely not going to make that easy for the Skyhawks.
No, they're not. South in the shotgun, throwing to his right. That is deflected and intercepted. Interception number 4 for Matt South. As Florida comes away with a turnover to take points off the board, it's Ryan Tobin.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the receiver Heath McDaniel Jr. injured on that play. And just a, nice vision there by Tobin after the tip pass, and is able to get his hands on it for Florida's 4th interception of the game.
And that injury for McDaniel is going to be serious. McDaniel did not have a catch up to this point in the game, just 2 targets. And now Ron Cochran. Throw the ball behind Bolitsky, makes a nice adjustment, and he gets drilled by the Carolina defender, Shravan Prasad. Still a nice gain, 2nd and 3.
Somebody check that man's hands, because there is no way that he could catch that ball that smoothly in this weather. My goodness, what a beautiful grab by Boletsky there.
Great adjustment to the ball. It was thrown behind him. But it ain't no thing to the second-year halfback. Flag on the play. Boletsky again, this time around the left side. Has the first down. Has a lane down the left side. Is in plus territory. And then finally brought down at the Florida 32.
Yeah, looks like a couple markers down on that play here, Zirkle.
And Carolina 32. We'll see where this ends up. And they're going to call this on the defense. Florida's going to decline.
Makes sense.
And very sensible. We're going to end up with a nice gain here. Here's a replay.
Yeah, that penalty called on Josh Neville's the defensive end. Of course, not that it mattered, because Bullet Boletsky just shot out of a cannon as usual, is able to get the 5 yards and then some.
All the way to the Carolina 47. Florida looking to score again here before the end of the first half. Cochran over the middle. That's incomplete. And another flag on the field.
PI? Question mark?
And it is pass interference. And that is going to go against
Shravan
Carolina.
Prasad.
Very dubious call. When it rains, it pours. Pardon the expression. But after the 4th interception from Matt South, the injury to Heath McDaniel Jr., and now back-to-back penalties, only one of which it was accepted, let's point out.
Yeah,
Florida continuing to drive here.
I definitely have to question that PI call, but
it's hard for us to give a second opinion on that, as Boletsky drilled behind the line. Not a lot at volume, at least in the run game. You see the numbers there. It does have 31 yards on 5 receptions. Averages 6.2 a pop in that department.
But good enough for government work, as they say.
Indeed. Noel Cap in the game at fullback. Perhaps to pave the way here for Boletsky. No, Cochran's going to throw. It's an out route. And that is Midson running the 5 and out. And he's going to get his team into a 3rd and medium here with just under 3 to play in the first half.
Yeah, a much better situation than a potential 3rd and long. I think if you're Ron Cochran in this Florida Storm, you would much rather have this 3rd and medium than what could have been.
The clock will start rolling again as Florida breaks their huddle. Pauly Truth, the rookie, back in the game as the 2nd tight end. Boletsky in the backfield by his lonesome. Gets the call here on 3rd and 4. Around the left side, gets a block. He's going to be stopped short of the marker. Monty Wyatt, free safety, coming in to help with that tackle. And it's going to be 4th and 1.
Yeah, I could honestly see Florida going for this. Potentially trying the bait and switch. Fortunately, it looks like they're going to put this to the boot of Ethan Snead.
This will be a 45-yard attempt. And suffice to say, less than ideal conditions. Spot is down. Kick is up. It is blocked. Carolina coming up with a huge play on special teams. Just when they needed it most.
Yeah, definitely a strong special teams play there. I think a bit of a low snap may have contributed to that block. Ethan Snead just not able to get his boot to it in time. And the special teams for Carolina comes up big just before the 2-minute warning.
2:02. Matt South, who has thrown 4 interceptions today, will now try to run a 2-minute drill in a pouring rain on his own field. Short drop on 1st and 10. Over the middle. Caught. And that will get us to the 2-minute warning. Matt South looking for his true North Star. Can he find it before the intermission? You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on For the Fans Twitch. Welcome back to North Carolina SFL Week 12 action. Josh Zirkle, Aaron Alexander in the booth, Declan O'Rourke, and Justin Reside on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine producing, Mike St. Green in studio. As Prasad comes up with another catch, and Carolina has a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, you've absolutely got the right of it. Unfortunately, Carolina needs to pick up the pace here, I think, in order to try and get something on the board before halftime.
And the clock continues to run after that catch. Down to 90 seconds remaining before the break. South slipping and throws to his left after regaining his balance. Very impressive move there by the fifth-year quarterback. And McDaniel Jr., the update there, has cramps, may return.
Get that man some pickle juice, he'll be fine.
Avalos making that reception by a skating Matt South. And the clock continues to run. Just over a minute remaining here. South looking for Jack. Jack makes a nice adjustment to the ball. Gets the first down, but does not get out of bounds, and Carolina will hurry up.
Carolina does have all three timeouts. I definitely think they should call at least one of them here.
No wide receivers on the field for the Skyhawks. They're going back to Jack, and Jack actually does get out of bounds there with 43 seconds remaining.
Yeah, being stuck in a formation like that, I'm honestly kind of baffled they didn't call the timeout there, try and change the personnel. They do get a blessing in disguise, though, with Logan Jack stepping out of bounds after the 1 yard loss. So we'll see what Carolina can do here with 43 left to go.
And they're going to stay in this set. They've actually got one wide receiver on the field now. I think that's Prasad on the left side. And then South is going to go deep here, and it's caught! Carolina down into the red zone, and now we'll use a timeout.
And Carolina, Matt South finally catching the Florida secondary slipping on coverage on Harish Prasad. And Prasad makes them pay for it with a nice post route here to the outside. And Carolina finally finds himself inside of the Florida red zone and in striking distance to put some points on the board here before halftime.
Gain of 26 by Prasad. What a crisp route. He'll be running in a pouring rain, wet turf, slippery cleats, water on your face. I just hate that. South back under center, 1st and 10 in the red zone here. Freddie Greer checks back in. South will throw to Jack. Another nice adjustment. Breaks the tackle. 10, 5, and then finally brought down at the 4. They're going to hurry up with 28 seconds left.
Yeah, great play there by the Skyhawks in order to put them in a good situation here. Try and get 7 on the board here before halftime.
First and goal. South throwing to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Tony Zoma.
What a turn of events for the Skyhawks after their quarterback, Matt South, throws 4 interceptions. Finally, Carolina is able to string a drive together and get Tony Zoma into the end zone.
An outstanding drive. 8 plays, 73 yards, culminating in a 2-yard touchdown catch from 5th-year tight end Tony Zoma.
Just his 2nd on the season.
Remarkable. And now Carolina, Aaron, who's thrown 4 interceptions in the first half, is going to trail this game by 3 points.
What a surprising turn of events, and just a testament to the tenacity of Matt South.
And Florida is going to get the ball to start the second half. So we wonder if they're actually going to take any serious risks here with 17 seconds remaining. We've already seen one player go down with an injury. I think Florida would hate to make it 2, as Whistle Jones will boot this away. Justice Blackwell, the rookie, to handle the kick return duties, but has taken one to the house earlier this season. We'll get this out to the 28. Their 2nd worst starting field position of the half. And we'll see what Cochran does here.
Yeah, and I think you can definitely credit the that touchdown to that blocked field goal earlier. The second one I've already seen today. The first one, of course, in that Sioux Falls Denver game, returned by the big man for a touchdown.
You're a man in many games as that is deflected and falls to the turf with 9 seconds remaining. SFL fans, have you ever wondered what it would be like to play in the SFL instead of sitting on the sidelines? For the newest SFL participants, the SFL's minor league, SFLM, kicks off its 4th season Friday, October 15th. The SFL's YouTube channel is home to all the minor league action at youtube.com/simulationfl. To get on the field and into the action, visit simulationfl.net to create a player today. And Ron Cochran, an outstanding player in his own right, will hand off to Boletsky, who's going to rip one off here as time expires in the first half. You got to be kidding me. The bullet strikes again.
Little bit of theatrics there from Boletsky as time expires, and the bad luck streak of the Carolina Skyhawks continues. That one, Bullet Boletsky, not shot out of a cannon that time, but out of a rifle.
A 72-yard run by the second-year Wonderkin halfback, Charlie Boletsky, and man, he make me nervous doing a little show, but he crossed the goal line first, young man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of forgive him a little bit as there was absolutely no Carolina jerseys in the area, but you've got the right of it. One missed opportunity, and Florida's going to stay with their 10-point lead here going into halftime after a monster run, 72 yards from Bullet Boletsky.
An awful breakdown by the Carolina defense at exactly the wrong time. As the extra point is blocked. Oh my goodness. Twists and turns in every facet of this game today, Aaron.
What is happening, Josh? I don't know how to feel about this.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone. The second half coming up. Florida, looking for back-to-back 10-win seasons, has a 9-point lead on the Carolina Skyhawks. Aaron, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Insanity? Words cannot describe the amount of shenanigans that we've seen, and it's only been 2 quarters.
You can only be left to wonder what the next 2 quarters will bring, as Florida is going to get the ball to start the second half here. Justice Blackwell, rookie handling kick return duties, has taken one to the house already this season. The way this game is going, get your popcorn ready as we begin the second half here in Raleigh. Blackwell from his own goal line. Jimmy step will get out to the 20 and then down at the 23. Easily the worst field position for Florida in this entire game.
Yeah, but still a decent effort by the rookie on that kick return to get 23. He could have been stopped a lot deeper in his own territory.
Ron Cochran, 14 of 17 in the first half. Will start 1st and 10 under center, bunch formation to his left. And that pass is complete on the left side. It's going to be a nice gain right out of the gate here. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that one caught by Stephen Bush, just his 2nd reception on the day. And the weather, Josh, definitely having effect, I think, on both of these teams. We've seen a blocked field goal and a blocked extra point. The Carolinas thrown 4 interceptions. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Cochran over the middle, and that is caught. I think that was Justice Blackwell there, the rookie, making that catch. Hard to tell.
It was Justice Blackwell, but it was not caught, I'm afraid. Bobbled a bit. I think the rookie not used to the wet football, despite practicing in the rain from time to time.
And the incompletion will make it 3rd and 3. Let's get in the backfield by his lonesome. 2 tight ends for the Storm. Short drop. Cochran pump fake, throwing to the left side. That is caught. On the left side, tremendous catch. It's going to get Florida into plus territory. I believe that was Stephen Bush. Hard to tell.
I believe that was E.J. Minson, actually. I believe I saw an 8 on that jersey. We'll get a better look at it here. look at this ball. And that was EJ Minson just leaves the defense in order to get his hands on that pass from Ron Cochran. And Florida finds itself in Carolina territory for the first time this half.
Tremendous catch by the fourth-year wide receiver. Needs a monster game to get to 1,000 yards on the season. Still a lot of ball game left here. Cochran over the middle now. Another big catch on the left side of the field. And that might have been Vincent. No, that is Zarkov. Catch number 6 of the afternoon for him.
Yeah, Zarkov has been an absolute difference maker for this Florida offense. An incredible game so far for him.
Heavy set for Florida. Valetsky is only going to get 1, maybe 2 here. Chad Stinson coming up with a tackle there. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, still a great drive to start this half for the Storm. They find themselves now just 10 yards away from the red zone. A very, very key second down situation, though, for the Storm here.
Cochran in the shotgun. 3 wideouts to his right. You're on 2nd and 8. Here comes the twist. Cochran under pressure. Hit as he's thrown. That's caught. And that is Stephen Bush making the catch there. And Florida once again in the red zone. You go ahead and flex Stephen Bush.
Yeah, that's just a great pass by Ron Cochran. As you mentioned, hit as he threw that ball. That was Ryan Ray trying to get the sack in. Unfortunately, Cochran able to get that ball into the hands of Stephen Bush there. And Florida's looking to try and extend this lead even further.
Cochran over the middle again. And again, complete. It's going to be 1st and goal. Justice Blackwell, the rookie, coming up with a big catch.
Yeah, Justice Blackwell finally getting his just desserts on that first catch. Blackwell, of course, picking up his first receiving touchdown of his career last game against the Kings.
Once again, Florida in the red zone. Cochran staying in the shotgun, though. Time to throw. Looking over the middle. Caught! Touchdown! Florida extends their lead. Vernon Zarkov.
Zarkov getting his 2nd touchdown reception there. Florida extending their lead even further. Looking to try and push it to 16 with a extra point from Ethan Sneed, though there may be a possibility we see Florida go for 2 here.
Would not be the worst idea in the world. Which would make it a 17-point game. The conversion here would make it a 16-point game.
They are going to look to put it to the boot of Ethan Sneed despite the block earlier on.
Spot is down. Kick is up. Pressure. It is blocked again. Carolina taking at least 1 point off the board there. And the margin will be 15.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time that this Skyhawks team has blocked the extra point. They also have a blocked field goal earlier on, so I think, if we're being honest, the weather affecting the place kicks the most here for the Storm.
Would have to agree. And this gives Carolina a window. Now can take the lead with 2 scores. Prasad out to the 25. And Carolina will start their first drive of the second half with 7:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Aaron, it looks like the rain is starting to let up here a little bit in Raleigh. It was coming down quite hard, although from this camera perspective, it looks like it is still going strong. As Carolina looking to go a little stronger and a little deeper into their season. A win here would put them at 5-7 and leave them mathematically alive for the playoffs. And Harish Prasad still mathematically alive after that tackle. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, Carolina, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, looking to reach playoffs for the first time since season 11. Florida looking to try and get to back-to-back championship games this season.
Logan Jack around the right side will have a first down at the 36. And Jack slow to get up after his 7th carry of the afternoon.
Carolina needs something desperately in order to stay alive in this game.
Talking about the rain with the place kicking, Aaron. It has affected the run game to some extent also, although Boletsky's long run at the end of the first half would sort of disguise that on the stat sheet, if you will. As Matt South completes another catch to Vince DeSantis, who's emerging as a favorite target with the special conditions this afternoon.
Yeah, DeSantis picking up his 2nd there. And a much-needed possession type of a guy for Carolina, considering the torrential downpour.
Jack up the middle. Jack breaking a couple tackles, has the first down, grinding his way out to midfield. An inspired run by Logan Jack. And Carolina's got a first down.
Yeah, Carolina, I think, hoping for some sunshine to come through here as soon as possible, but Logan Jack with a nice play there to keep this drive alive for the Skyhawks as they're just on their own side of midfield.
Carolina tight end Tony Zoma has their only touchdown of the afternoon. Matt South looking to add one to that total. Throwing to his right. Jack makes another tackler slip off. We might be seeing some rain affecting the defense, at least on the Florida side.
Yeah, this definitely not looking favorable for the Storm at the moment, despite the lead. Carolina in a good position to try and put some more points on the board here as they're finally on Florida side of the field.
As we reach the halfway point of the third quarter, South throwing to his left, and that is intercepted. Oh my goodness, a huge pick right into the hands of the Florida defender. Florida's going to get great field position after this, the 5th interception from Matt South.
Yeah, that's the backup free safety, IB Lurkin big there with a nice interception. Matt South's 5th on this game. And Florida, despite what you said earlier about the rain maybe affecting them, IB Lurkin says, no, it's quite the opposite, actually.
And Florida will start on Carolina's 31-yard line, their best starting field position of the afternoon. Cochran under center to Boletsky. Boletsky has blockers. Well, that's a nice run. Gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, those blockers moving the pile here for Boletsky in order to get those extra yardage. Credit, of course, as always, to this offensive line of the Storm.
And now 2 tight ends for the Storm. Zarkov and the rookie Pauly Truth. And Boletsky will run to their side. Has the first down inside the 10, 5. Touchdown number 2 for Charlie Boletsky.
A decision here for the coaching staff of the Florida Storm. Do you try and put it to the boot of Ethan Snead again, having already had 2 extra points blocked? Or do you decide to go for 2 to try to extend this lead even further?
The lead right now is 21. Aaron, what would you do?
I'll be honest with you. If it were me, considering the 2 blocked extra points and the blocked field goal, as good as Ethan Snead is, I think you got to go for 2.
I think I would take your side on that debate as well, but Snead actually proves the naysayer, that being you, Aaron.
Story of my broadcast career. I say one thing and immediately gets proven wrong.
It's just a ruthless thing to throw it right in your face like that. I just asked you for an opinion, and then wrong.
It is what it is.
The lead is 22. Florida leads 29-7 after the 5th interception from Matt South, and he's going to have to run back out there and do it again. Prasad from his own goal line out to the 24.
Carolina needs a miracle at this point.
Probably a miracle and a half. Just the way that their offense has been performing, at least at this point. There's been some flashes of greatness. They have had some big plays. A couple of big catches from Harish Prasad. 1 for 20, 1 for 26. But they've just not been able to string it together. Logan Jack, though, spin move. Really close to the marker. That's going to be very short, second in inches. Still a lot of fight left in this Carolina Skyhawks team.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite being down by 22, Carolina knows that this game is reliant on their playoff hopes are reliant on this game. Carolina is going to do everything in their power to try and make something happen.
Florida has not lost since Fort Worth upset them in week 4. Jack, successful at short yardage. That's a fresh set of downs for the Skyhawks. This is just a not only a great team this year, talking about the Florida Storm, but also just one of the cornerstone franchises of the entire Simulation Football League. The 3 championships, the run of success, the consistent ownership with Mighty, and his sort of ownership tree, if you will. And we're seeing that on the field play out in real time.
Yeah, absolutely. Carolina, though, despite it being a bit of a down season for them, there's definitely a lot of positives for them, especially with the acquisition of Matt South from the Fleet this past offseason. Yeah.
And I think that is a good fit there as well. South dealing here. And Jack cannot turn upfield before going out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and medium now for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of good for this Carolina team to build on in the offseason. It's just a case of Carolina, their luck is not on their side.
And it's a young offense. And they're playing against a very seasoned defense. South throws to his left, and that is caught. I believe that's Tony Zoma. Talking about the Florida defense, Aaron, Andrew Francis and Ryan Tobin. Strong safety and free safety. Between the two of them, 17 seasons, 1,736 tackles, 134 passes deflected, and 71 interceptions coming into the week. And that's 2 guys. That's not even including Evan Carroll in his 10th season, who has 103 passes deflected and also has 2 interceptions tonight. And that was Tobin, who nearly came up with another one right there.
Yeah, this veteran core for the Florida Storm defense has definitely been outstanding. Of course, besides Evan Carroll, Tobin, Francis, you've got Alex Dominguez, who's in his 10th season, Ryan Davidson, who's in his 8th. A lot of great guys for the one rookie, Stephen Black, to try and get advice from and build his skill set here with the Storm.
South is going to unleash the dragon here on 2nd and 10, and that is caught. Hard to tell who the receiver was, but that is a tremendous catch down to the 23-yard line.
Going to go out on a limb here and say that was Harish Prasad on that grab.
Yeah, nice little post route there. Splitting that cover 2.
That was Avalos, actually. Excuse me.
Sam Avalos. He's been really quiet. Only 1 catch last week. And he's another guy that could turn it on.
Yeah, picks up his 2nd of the game with that grab.
Less than 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. South dealing to Jack. That's a short pass. He's going to get blown up. He is. Eric Hammer doing the dirty work on that play. That's a TFL for Hammer.
Yeah, and a much-needed TFL for the Storm. Carolina threatening the red zone here late in the 3rd.
South in the shotgun here. 2nd and long. 6 defensive backs on the field for the Storm. 4-man rush. South throw it deep to the left side. Another interception. Evan Carroll again. His 3rd of the game. He's going to run this back. Got a blocker or 2. Will get out to the 33. That is interception number 6 for Matt South. in this pouring rain. You know what they say, Aaron? When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, and it's definitely pouring on, much to the dismay of the Skyhawks. That is a hat trick of interceptions now for Evan Carroll, the 10th year corner, who now has 58 for his career, ties him for 5th all time with AJ Levy of Sioux Falls.
Holy smokes. Pretty highbrow company there. Cochran over the middle. That's caught. Blackwell on a little post route, or a little slant route, excuse me. Just over a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that one into the hands of the rookie Justice Blackwell with a nice route here. Gets himself open for Ron Cochran up the middle.
Nice little pattern there. Bunch formation. And Cochran does not seem to be easing up off the gas pedal at all.
I don't blame him.
Throw it. Here in a pouring rain. Play action to Voletsky. And now throwing on the post route, yes, it is a post route to Stephen Bush. That's caught. And that's going to be another first down for Florida as they get out close to midfield.
Yeah, an upside for Carolina in this game. According to Commissioner Cameron Irvine, potentially the first game in SFL history with 3 blocked place kicks in a game.
Something to keep an eye on. Boletsky runs around the line, only to get flattened by number 43, Kane Vasquez, coming up to make the play. It is a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. And that is the end of the third quarter. Florida looking to put finishing touches on another 10-win season. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on For the Fans Twitch. Raleigh, North Carolina. Josh Circle, Aaron Alexander in the booth. Declan O'Rourke, Justin Reside on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. Cameron Irvine producing. And the Florida Storm about to produce their second consecutive 10-win season. Ron Cochran thrown out to the right side. I think that's E.J. Midson on the right side. Yes, it is. His 5th of the afternoon.
Yeah, and you talk about this being Florida's 10th win season. Their 2 losses were in week 1 to Arizona, playoff team.
Yep.
Their second to my Toros.
It was Fort Worth, wasn't it? And that's another
back
team
in
that
week
has
4.
been sort of all over the map. And I would put Carolina in a category with Fort Worth as well, with just a lot of great pieces that for one reason or another did not quite come together this year. As Carolina, Trevon Prasad is going to blow up Boletsky, and Florida's going to punt.
Yeah, Florida's going to have to. A big stop there by the Carolina defense. A much-needed stop. They desperately need to try to get something on the board here. Down by 22 at the start of the 4th here. And I definitely have to agree with you. Carolina definitely has the pieces together in order to, string together a good season. I think there's just some pieces somewhere that aren't quite right. And Ethan Sneed, Marcus Agrippa, rather, going to pin Carolina down at their own 1.
That's just disrespectful. My goodness, what a punt.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
Talk about stomping on the throat of your enemies while you're down. Well, they're down. You can't really stomp on your own throat while you're down, though I've never tried it. And now Matt South from his own 1-yard line. I would say in the shadow of his own goalpost, but there is literally no light in this stadium whatsoever.
Nope.
It's a puddle of wet darkness. Logan Jack needs a block. Almost got it. Breaks a tackle. Is out to the 19-yard line. Great run by Logan Jack to get out of the end zone just at least.
Yeah, and a friend in rhyming name alone, Stephen Black, is going to stop Logan Jack from reaching the end zone there with some assistance from the rest of the Storm defense. That was the backup linebacker, Jason Julien, on the assist.
South in the shotgun here. Thrown over the middle, and that is a huge... No, it's not caught. That's Heath McDaniel Jr., who's back in the game. And South, eager to force the issue into quadruple coverage.
Yeah, they got McDaniel the pickle juice that he needed in order to ease the cramps. And a good stop on the first play by the Storm defense.
Heath McDaniel Jr. gets back in the game only to get blasted by Ryan Tobin as he goes over the middle. He might go back to the pickle juice. 2nd and 10 here. South was under center. I think Zoma and DeSantis both to his left. And he'll throw to Jack on the screen. Jack has room to run, has the first down. He's not going to get out of bounds. Clock continues to run. Just under 9.5 here, but it will be a fresh set of downs for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, Logan Jack gets first down and a bit more, much needed for the Skyhawks team, who at this point is just playing for pride. Still a chance for them to come back in this game, but being down 22, they have a mountain to climb.
Would need to be at least one touchdown here relatively soon. And then your defense would have to come up with a couple stops, or you'd have to deliver a couple of onside and recover both of those. At least 2. Jack up the middle. It's going to get flattened there by rather burly defender. That's Julien again. 2nd and 7. For the first time in nearly 3 years, the SFL will broadcast playoff games on its own networks, and for the first time, we'll offer simulcasts of the playoff games on all SFL platforms. SFL Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Check out the 2 wild card matchups. Saturday, October 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday, October 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern on all platforms, and stay tuned for official team and commentator pairings. And Aaron, I just hope that we do our, what might feel like our 50th game together at some point in the playoffs.
It's fine. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it sounds like you might have it some other way. You're good. Jackson, we stop short of the marker, and Carolina will punt again. Here comes Mike Johnson.
No, it's always great calling games with you, Josh. It's always a lot of fun.
We have a good time. And our stat man, Justin Reside, is going to be calling some games in SFLM. I'm particularly looking forward to that as well. I think he's going to do a great job. Johnson, no pressure, will punt it away. And that is Blackwell waiting. That is Blackwell going down at his own 26-yard line with 7:45 to play in regulation.
Yeah, Justin Reside definitely going to be a great addition to the booth down in the minors.
And if you're one of those folks that's thinking about climbing up into the broadcast booth, we got room for you. Come on in. We'll figure it out. Get in touch with Chris Curtis or go to SFL or Simulationfl/broadcasting. That's a wild guess. Blackwell getting a first down. Tremendous game by the rookie there.
Yeah, and a great rookie season for Justice Blackwell as well, of course, getting that kick return for the touchdown earlier this season, getting the first receiving touchdown last game, despite the man himself saying he wouldn't get it till season 20. I kept telling him he was going to get it this season. He never believed me, but finally getting his just desserts in that game against Jacksonville.
We've earned some credibility. Maybe he'll believe you now. Charlie Boletsky at 148 yards after that run. The 2 rushing touchdowns, obviously the gigantic 72-yard run at the end of the first half. Really, say what you want about the interceptions. I think it was that run by Boletsky that changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that one. The interceptions definitely don't help matters. But that run by Boletsky at the end of the half definitely swung the momentum toward Florida Storm and has just never let up.
In Carolina's drive summaries, up to this point. 2 punts, 6 interceptions, and then 1 drive that went for the touchdown. That Tony Zoma touchdown toward the end of the first half that at one point made it a 3-point game just before Boletsky's long run. There's a clutch drop there by Noel Cap. And now we'll see Marcus Agrippa out here. Some big money punting happening here in Raleigh.
Yeah, Agrippa, the last time stopped, pinned Carolina at the 1. Agrippa going to look to do that again. Harish Prasad going to look to deny that opportunity, perhaps.
Maybe he'll slap candy out of a baby's hand.
We'll have to see.
For an encore. No pressure on the punt. And that's going to be, Prasad's going to return this. And they're going to spot him the 13-yard line. As Charleston is on the board in the first quarter of their game against the Jacksonville Kings. Charleston's still in the hunt as well. And you can watch that game on SFL Twitch. And that would be twitch.tv/SimulationFL. As Matt South will settle back in here. In the shadow of his own goalpost, Logan Jack. As we say, Logan Jack with a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. And Aaron, you mentioned your season with Fort Worth and how you finally stuck a fork in that and you guys are done. What's Carolina experiencing right here as their season is slowly and cruelly coming to a close?
There's definitely going to be a lot of frustration, especially from a team like Carolina that, especially earlier in their season, had a lot of high expectations for themselves that they would come out and play a lot better than they have this season. But like I said earlier, there's a lot of positive takeaways to take from this. Of course, there's some changes we may see in the offseason. As
another interception there. That is number 7 for Matt South, and I think you said it for everyone there. Andrew Francis, that is his second pick of the afternoon, and number 7 for Matt South.
Yeah, I don't think this game is indicative of what Carolina is capable of as a team. Florida is admittedly just that good. I definitely think that the weather has a lot to play into some of the mishaps of the Skyhawks here.
Could not agree more. Cochran to Boletsky. And the starters are going to stay out here on the field. An interesting decision. 5.5 left to play. You are up by, if I could do the math really quickly, 22 points. Carolina has scored 7 in 3.5 quarters. But Ron Cochran staying in there. As is Boletsky and as is the Florida receiving corps, it would appear. Going to the left, that is Blackwell. And Blackwell probably just happy to get the reps here. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, you absolutely have the right of it. But admittedly, a bit of a surprise that Florida's keeping the backups in, though after some previous experience, I can kind of understand their hesitation to do so.
Boletsky has the first down up the middle. It's going to be 1st and goal for Florida. Coverage of the SFL 17th postseason begins Saturday, October 16th on Next Level Sports at 4 p.m. Eastern with the league's top wild card matchup. For the Fans coverage begins Sunday, October 17th with a league playoff pregame special at 2:30 p.m. Eastern before kickoff at 3 Eastern. To find Next Level Sports and For the Fans channels on your devices, visit itsnextlevel.com and ftfnext.com so you don't miss a minute of the action. Boletsky fighting around the right side. It's going to get to the 7, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Beletsky picks up about 2 yards there. Requires a lot of leg charting in order to do it, but is able to pick up the yardage needed. We'll see if Florida decides to extend this lead even further.
So we mentioned Florida is now came into this game locked into the 2 seed. They had the tiebreaker on Mexico City. When Mexico City had a chance to jump them, they just would have played each other anyway. And this is going to be a rematch. Florida and Mexico City played each other in week 5. And Florida won big in that game, 48-29. Is there any particular aspect of that matchup you're particularly excited to see? Whether it's this Florida offense that has looked really good in a pouring rain, or maybe some of the Hall of Famers on Mexico City's side, including Matt Wilson, Mike Daggs, and Ray Bentley.
I mean, obviously, Mexico City is going to come in with an adjusted game plan to try and slow down this Florida Storm offense, but there's a reason Florida has the 2 seed locked in, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make the championship game for the 2nd straight season.
Chad Stinson corrals Beletsky down to the 2-yard line. It's going to be 4th and goal. Stinson essentially taking points off the board. And we might see another kick. We might see another blocked kick here, Aaron.
I would be absolutely baffled if we saw a 4th place kick get blocked this game.
You're kind of rooting for it, though, aren't you? Aren't you rooting for history at this point?
I'd be lying if I said no, I'll be honest with you.
It'll be a 19-yard field goal. There is penetration, but Snead is true. And the score is 32-7.
I would like to point out that before this game, Ethan Snead was perfect on the season as far as field goals go.
That's right. That perfection will no longer exist, and that record from Snead is gonna carry a little blemish into the postseason.
Yep.
He'd only missed 1 field goal all time coming into this game. He's his 4th-year kicker. As we reach the 2-minute warning, get the GGs in the chat. Florida's looking at win number 10. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on For the Fans Twitch. Once again, recognize our broadcast crew: Cameron Irvine producing, Declan O'Rourke and Justin Reside on stats. Thank you, gentlemen. My best friend in the whole world, Aaron Alexander, doing color commentary. My name is Josh Zirkle. We are winding down here in Raleigh, Florida, with the benefit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Matt South interceptions, is cruising their way to at what stands now a 32-7 win, a 10-win season for the 2nd time in as many seasons.
Yeah.
Sound as good as I would have hoped. And the 2 seed in the SFL playoffs, which will start next week.
For the 2nd straight year, I believe, that Florida will be the number 2 seed in playoffs.
Tremendous reputation of excellence. As we are putting a bow on things here, if you had to pick a player of the game, Aaron, which you do not have to, but you really should, who is your man or lady of the hour for this game? Now that we have some time to kick it around and debate it a little bit.
Looking at the stats, I would say, it's probably going to end up going to someone like Charlie Beletsky.
Yes.
But I think you have to give mention to Evan Carroll, who had a hat trick of interceptions.
Yes.
Andrew Francis, who had 2. As well as, a bunch of other defensive plays as well. But I think if we're talking realistically, it's got to go to Charlie Beletsky.
Yeah, Beletsky did have the giant run late in the first half when Carolina managed to pull within 3, 10-7. Late in the first half, Bolitsky ripped off a 72-yard run. A walk-off. Well, I mean, they walked off the field for halftime. It wasn't a walk-off at the end of the game. But as the first half expired, Bolitsky trotted into the end zone. And Florida's never really looked back from that point. Zarkov, Veridit Zarkov, had a nice game. 7 catches. We have him at 71 yards. 2 touchdowns. And that's a pretty thin list, to be quite honest.
You know, we could see an underdog Zarkov get player of the game honors too. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, the 2 touchdowns I think is going to carry some weight. I think we're going to see a late hit on this call. His temper's beginning to flare here. And everybody's just wet and grumpy. They want to go in, get some hot chocolate, chill out a little bit. In Carolina's case, retool for next season, season 18, which will be here before we know it. And for Florida, start getting ready for Mexico City. Actually, they're not going to play Mexico City because they both have first-round buys. Man, I'd love to know how playoff works sometime.
It's
My
fine.
apologies, everyone.
Florida would get franchise win number 99, meaning they're looking forward to playoffs. They'd be looking for win number 100 after the bye week.
Pretty remarkable. And there's Vince DeSantis getting into the end zone. That is his first career touchdown. So a bright spot will come out of this game for Carolina. Congratulations to Vince DeSantis, numero uno.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope it'd be in better circumstances, but congratulations indeed to the sophomore tight end getting his first career receiving touchdown and making this game look like not as much of a blowout by the Storm.
Whistle Jones will handle the extra point. And that is up and good.
Another note here about the Storm, Josh. Their first playoff game after their bye week would be their 15th.
It's remarkable.
And of course, they also do lead the league all time in playoff wins with 10.
There's the onside kick from Carolina. It looks like Florida has that in tow. And another note on Carolina, they played the 6th toughest schedule in the SFL this season. And obviously the schedules work out differently for everybody. But they hung tough. They're going to end their season with a 4-game skid, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, like I said, though, still a lot of positives this season. They were the ones that ended the undefeated season of Queen City. They had some big wins over Houston and Charleston earlier in the season. Carolina is by no means a bad team. I think there's just a gear in the machine that's missing, that once Carolina finds that right gear, they're going to be dangerous.
I totally agree. They had a split with Charleston, actually beat them earlier in the season before succumbing to them last week. And Cochran's going to go down in a heap. So a little stat padding on the defensive side. Carolina will use that timeout for some reason. They have one left.
Carolina, I think, just practicing clock management for next season.
That was Phil Hall on the sack. That would be number 52 of his career, if we have that correct. And timeout stops the clock with 1:06 remaining as Carolina will use their last timeout. And Florida at victory formation.
Yeah, I think one more kneel down. would put it close, but they are going to have to punt it away, I think, on 4th down.
Yeah, I think you are correct. And that knee will make it 4th and 11, and there's going to be about 25 seconds in excess of what's happening on the offensive side for Florida. Well, Aaron, it's been a good time with you as usual.
Indeed.
Do you have any more games after this?
I do not. This is my last game of the weekend, unless an emergency situation requires my attention elsewhere.
I will be hopping on a plane and to San Diego to call the game for Los Angeles and San Diego. Los Angeles has a chance to clinch the Pacific Division with a win. They win, and they're obviously going to pop some champagne on their own. That game will be on SFL Twitch. And I'm looking forward to calling that game with Nate Hall. It'll be the first time Mr. Hall and I have worked together. And that will be a good time had by everyone in the booth, on stats, and on stream.
As it always is with you, Josh.
That's the only way to do it. Matt South, for old time's sake, is going to throw it over the left side, and it's caught! And Prasad down the left sideline! 1 man left to beat! 20 finally brought down at the 14, and they're going to hurry it up. That is a lot of running for an offensive line.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get there in time. That is going to be ball game, but a nice last effort by Carolina.
That's how you play for 60 minutes, folks. Congratulations to the Florida Storm. Back-to-back 10-win seasons. Their ticket to the postseason already punched. But a consistent level of excellence maintained. Aaron Anderson, your thoughts on the game?
Who is Aaron Anderson?
I'm sorry, I meant Aaron Alexander.
I mean, of course, the 7 turnovers definitely it didn't help matters. Of course, as we know, Carolina officially eliminated from playoff contention. But a lot of good from them in this game as they look to try and rebuild for season 18, of course, the Florida Storm. With not only their second 10-win season in a row, but I believe their second number 2 seed in as many seasons. So Florida with still a lot more to look forward to. And of course, still a lot of football left to play here on this Saturday.
Are you sure you don't go by Aaron Anderson?
I am positive.
The loss will officially eliminate Carolina from playoff contention. And as we mentioned, Florida has the 2 seed locked up. And had so locked up coming into the game with the Mexico City loss. So they will have a first-round bye, and they will have the second pick of the litter, if you will, after the wild card games. And congratulations one more time. And here is Ethan Sneed. The rarity today, the successful field goal, unblemished by opposition hands. And just a tough day for Matt South. And Carolina, a lot to look forward to. As we agree, this is a great team that has bright things on the horizon for season 18. And for Florida, best of luck to them in the postseason.
Yep, absolutely. I still think player of the game odds are probably going to go to Charlie Beletsky, which I think is much due for them. I could see it going to Ron Cochran. I think Verdon Zarkov would be an underrated pick. Of course, we do see Beletsky getting the nod there.
24
as
attempts,
expected.
59 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For Cameron Irvine, Declan O'Rourke, Justin Reeside, Aaron Alexander, I'm Josh Circle. Thank you for joining this presentation of the SFL presented by APM Music. Your final score, Florida 32, Carolina 14.